Akash, I can't hear
Or do I
anything
just look
at all.
retarded? Okay, whatever.
That too you do without. That too you anyways do.
Yes, Akash, after Phineas and Ferb, I don't think you are really saying that.
Oh god. Okay, I think we can start now. So
Nice.
3, 2, 1. Oh wait. I have to rehearse this. Usually I have to rehearse this because it's always kind of embarrassing. So
Yes.
wait.
Okay,
Hold on.
Aakash, make him laugh, bro.
Hey no. Welcome to the podcast. Huh. No.
Manas
Hello.
only
Okay.
looking at himself continuously.
Are you gonna have like some?
Manas has his pin noise like.
Yeah.
Oh,
He makes his eyes small when he's looking at himself.
I do?
Yeah, you do.
I can't see my eyes only. It's so dark.
Actually, yeah.
This camera
Because
is
they're made small. Okay. We're starting in 3,
tennis
2,
player
1.
today.
Hey man, let me start. 3, 2, 1. Hello, we are with members of the music club. That sounded so weird. I'm not gonna do it again. Okay. What's up? How's it going, everyone?
Hi,
It's
Raghav.
going good.
What's up? What's up?
Hi.
Okay, so how is?
What is this?
Over the top. Dude, over the
No,
top.
Super professional.
no. Last time I tried to do a take again, but I couldn't trim it all the way because I'm using Windows video editing because I don't know how to edit videos. So the pre-retake got uploaded as well. I am not doing that again. Yeah. So
But
tell me how you're doing.
We're all good.
Great.
yeah, we're doing well. I mean, like I think after like the whole vacation, the semester thing, like everything's good now. At least for UG too.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Nice. So how was Meltdown?
Okay,
Right,
I mean,
that was-
honestly, sorry, man, let's go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Meltdown was good. Unfortunately, from our batch we couldn't get performances, but otherwise it was nice. It was fun.
Mhm.
All right, so I mean, Raghav, I guess we can't ask for a completely unbiased opinion from you since you were like in half of the performances. But
You
like
were there as
since-
well, okay?
Yes, I know. But I mean, I guess we should be asking this question to you, right? Like, as a person, what did you think of Meltdown? Because, you know, we had a lot of plans for it initially, you know, in the beginning of February after Felicity. And we're like, okay, we have to do this, we have to do that. And then, you know, the COVID situation hit. We came across a lot of restrictions. And we had to work hard to make the event happen ultimately. So what did you think of Meltdown?
What a diplomatic reverse question. It was nice. I wanted more performances, but I guess that can't be expected given the COVID stuff.
Given our UG4.
Also that.
One more thing that happened with us, right, is we put in like a lot of effort for Unplugged and Felicity.
Inaugural.
Yeah, inaugural, like a lot. And then after that, like Manas, Sudhansh, and Dalton were on campus, and we were all geared, you know, for them to be in Srijana, and we were thinking of songs, and then suddenly, like, you know,
We had to come back. Yeah.
it was a huge bummer for us.
I mean,
Yeah.
we had it all planned. We took permission from that Akath office and stuff. That can we get instruments and store it in amphi and like play outside amphi and maintaining social distance and stuff. And we had it all planned, and then we had to again come back. So it was all sad.
Yes.
You're.
I've never okay, yeah, we go on.
I mean, you're asking the wrong people the question, right? I mean, did you expect anything from us?
Yeah.
Wait, okay. So I've never experienced a meltdown in person. So seniors, please tell how that was.
So
2 years ago.
After inaugurals, I think the other best event which happens is Meltdown itself. So I mean, in inaugurals, the kind of vibe and the kind of enjoyment you get, that is obviously unmatched. But I mean, with respect to the people who are performing, you get like the same instrument setup, and you get like the same speakers, and the entire setup is like top class. So when you're performing, you have like an enjoyment, and then of course it's an amphi, so there are all these people. And like I remember the last Meltdown we had, there was whose band I don't remember. So Shovan and a few of his Shovan and few of his bandmates had come, and there was a metal performance going on, and then there was like a proper circle, and there was headbanging. People are like, there was a proper metal vibe at that time. There were two people nicely crashing into each other and whatnot. So it was insane.
And Smoke Machine.
Oh,
Yeah.
So might I add, like, we were actually so close to organizing Meltdown the previous year in 2020 because by the time the campus went into lockdown, we were already ready with a lot of the songs. And I do believe
Yeah.
that Meltdown was like around 10 days away at best, and since everything suddenly closed, we couldn't pull it off last year. So we had to make it a point, that this is our flagship event, so we can't let it die out. So we have to make a point to repeat these events every year.
Okay, so let's go back in time because before Meltdown we had Felicity inaugurals. Now that was a big thing for us, right? And then we didn't show up next year. So go on.
Yeah, it was more of a chance to let other people perform because if you remember in our year when we performed for inaugurals, the other band from our batch didn't get a chance to perform. So it was more of a gentleman's move where we're like, okay, we're gonna sit this one out. You guys go ahead, and yeah, that was our rationale behind not performing.
Right.
Akash, I think you can back me up on this.
I
It
mean,
was definitely not pure laziness, and
see, it comes down to a communication error because, like, I can tell you that it's not like we were overly busy at the time or we couldn't perform. Because obviously, for stuff like this, you have to make time.
might not be the best policy.
Yes, Akash, thank you so much. I mean, no, I do agree with Akash's point here, but everything's said and done. Really happy because the bands turned out amazing in inaugurals this time as well. The Fachas did quite nice. I remember Teeth was quite amazing, and of course the seniors, you guys absolutely killed it.
Yeah,
What a
shout out to the
diplomat.
Fachas. They're so great. I mean,
Yeah.
the quality of performance, considering that, I mean, I'm sure most of them haven't met each other ever in person, right? And they managed to pull something off, which was like at par with all the other performances, if not better. So it was great.
And I guess that is one really important thing, Tanvi, that you mentioned that they didn't get to meet each other because like one thing that we prioritize or we like in music club is how chill everyone is with each other. Even if you were a UG one, it's not like Abhinav. I guess you guys know Abhinav. Didn't expect you to call him sir, and everything was informal, and everyone got along well with each other. And online, these differences, it's always hard to overcome. That's one thing that we're really proud of the juniors for because
Yeah,
we
and
were able to
like
pull it off.
performing without getting together in Srijana and yelling at Raghav and Aakash Jain really
Hey.
flustered. It's just it's just not the same. And well, I mean, I haven't performed nearly as much as I would have liked in this online setting simply because the motivation to set everything up to record isn't there. I mean, I play at home, but like it's difficult to record. And I feel like a lot of other people also agree on this. Like if it's really difficult and a lot of stuff was done at the very last minute, meltdown. Akash. So
Yes.
so yeah, I mean, it's just difficult to find the motivation to set anything up.
So let's go a little bit more back in time. How was Locked Away?
I mean, Raghav, I don't think we exactly. What is this locked away that you speak of?
Hey, tell me how it
Okay.
went. Come on.
Okay, see, in all honesty, what it comes down to was basically the fact that we weren't prepared for the online setting at the time. It was a huge shock, we went around from memeing about COVID and this virus, such and has come out in like January and stuff, to suddenly everything just went topsy-turvy. So at least, I guess I can speak from at least the UG2 part, that we weren't prepared to deal with an event like this in an online setting at the time.
Wait,
Because,
when was
at
Locked
that
Away?
time we
When
locked
was
away.
it?
I
It
think we
was
started
planned
around.
for last
It
summer.
was May. I think we started in May, so it was quite earlier. So I do remember quite early into the lockdown. So the thing is that at the time we weren't exactly ready for the logistics per se, because the music club has always been about on-campus live events, getting the energy on stage, giving people a chance to perform there. So this shift was something that I guess it was kind of difficult to deal with. And I do believe we rectified it with Unplugged afterwards. We sorted out everything, figured out a better
For sure.
format. Yeah, because like no one wants to sit for I think 3 hours watching a performance. Usually it's kind of boring. So splitting it up a little, getting different performances and getting everyone's performances, giving them a chance to talk to their friends. That is what it became about. So we had to reinvent the format a bit, and we're happy it worked out.
So one more thing about music club is like our events are always very equipment dependent, right? Like, especially when we do like for inaugurals, like we spent so much time third years, right? Each person had to send their individual sound, and then Dalton spent like so long. You have to align
Merging
every
everything,
sound
aligning
clip. Oh
everything.
god, like it is actually a lot of work just for like a 2-minute performance, right? It is a lot of work that goes into it. So I would say
Yeah,
that for Locked Away, we sort of we didn't like foresee the amount of effort that it would take, and by the time the submission started rolling in, the semester started, and then we were like, okay, maybe we should rethink this. And like
Yeah,
Akash
weren't
said, we
prepared
made a
enough.
great like comeback with Unplugged. We learned from it. So yeah.
Yeah, another thing was like saw a lot of enthusiasm when we announced it, which was like we got like I don't know 30 people almost signing up for the event. But then as time progressed and people realized what a pain recording was, we didn't get any submissions. So like the first submission, whenever we said we wanted to perform, submissions by that elapsed, and then it just kept happening. So like okay, this isn't going to happen anytime soon. Let's just dedicate our efforts towards replanning and restructuring our events in the future. So we just let it slide.
And this sort of had a knock-on effect onto Unplugged as well. Because I do remember we got a bulk of our submissions, I guess close to even, I'd say maybe half, like on the day of the deadline or even one day after the event had passed. So
Yeah.
it was a race against time to get those all compiled in. But basically, once people saw that, okay, we're actually able to get a good event off online, and people are listening and tuning in, so that's when the performances started rolling in.
Yeah,
So I
so when
guess we use
people
that momentum.
Yeah, people sat in the first day and watched our performances. They were like, okay, the flair of the music club is still kind of preserved, even in an online setting. So they decided to send in submissions. We actually got a lot of submissions in the second and third day.
Post the first day, multiple submissions after the first day.
Yeah, exactly. So we thought we'd close it on day 3, but then we got so many submissions that we ended up extending it for I think a few more days.
When you were talking about like editing the clips because they were like misaligned and stuff like that, yeah. In the Fix You performance that we had like 2 days ago, the part where my vocals come in for harmonizing, right? That entire section, each and every word was its own clip because it didn't line up with the drums at all.
What is this plugged, bro? It's about the musical, not about you.
You just put me now. So every word
Honestly-
didn't align with the drums at all. So we cut everything and realigned it.
Yeah,
Instead of just
that was a
re-recording.
pain. I mean, doing stuff online just gets so tough. You have everybody recorded, and then merging everything is just impossible. And that at this point, everybody is just listening to that. I mean, even once you have that whole bass track ready, there is some kind of lag, some small mistake, and then it just propagates to the entire song.
Yeah.
And then it's all done.
So for Anubhav's song, what we did was like we wanted an intro from one version, and and the rest of the song from the other version. So that was actually it's really difficult to transition, right?
So
like if
the
you're doing
thing
it
was,
live.
in Anubhav's performance, we listened to multiple covers of that song, and I had one thing in mind, and I'm trying to explain that. Yes, I mean, if we are in campus, we discuss, we decide, and everybody has that one thing in mind. In here, the thing was one person has this idea in mind, the other person it's incomplete in his mind, and then we're just trying to make bass versions, one like acoustic version simply, and then everybody records on top of that, and it was all so messed up. We took so long to get that performance right.
Yeah,
Really?
and another thing is when you're performing on stage, like you can cover up mistakes.
Cover up, right?
Like
Yes, that's true.
all of us can probably vouch for this. We probably messed up a lot on stage, but in an online setting, when you record and even one mistake, it just cascades throughout the entire
Yes.
performance, and just the effect compounds, and then you have to nail it, or it just won't hold itself together, which isn't the case. And I think we're all used to that kind of leeway with a little bit of we can add a little bit here and there and get away with not playing a note. And so, yeah, that was an additional complication. And
Yeah, totally.
Also, since we're on the topic, Raghav, would you care to share the affectionate name that you've given to all the audio producers out there?
Yes, mixed fathers. Okay, that's a conversation for some other time. I think one
Raghav,
more problem.
About your Fix You performance, I think your video just stole the show, and like nobody really listened to you after that. Everybody's laughing too hard at 5 of you and 1 of Abhijit. I think
Yes.
that's
It was
pretty
great.
classic
You
meme
kept
if
it
you think about it.
interesting.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
it.
Fixie was amazing.
Yeah.
But the video was lagging behind the audio, so that was a pain to watch.
This is
Okay.
This is what we
Enough-
spent time on during inaugurals
Exactly.
also.
Oh God,
Like we're
so
getting
much
the
time.
video right, and then we got that right, and then we were complete. We felt like dumb people because we didn't even know how to get like 4 videos in like one frame, and we're just figuring out how do you do this shit,
Oh
and
my god.
and then matching every video to every line, and oh my god, it was all messed up.
So we had to match like the sound waves, right? So whenever it
Yeah.
peaked, like we aligned the
Yes.
peaks exactly.
Zoomed in, aligned the peaks, and then magically
Yeah.
everything would get aligned properly, and then that's how we did the inaugurals part.
I think another complication in the online thing is some of us that are necessary to produce the baseline for everyone else to record their parts on. Some of us kind of procrastinate. Yeah.
Akash, what is this one? Honestly, we talked
Some
about
of
this
us
so many times.
procrastinate.
Uh,
Akash.
see,
Why?
I'm the last person
I
who
tell-
wants to come in. Okay, I'm
Okay,
the
yeah,
violinist.
So,
Okay, guilty as charged. It's kind of obvious what he's talking about. Like, I mean, Raghav, honestly, end of the day, we got the performance out, we got it in time, and
Yeah.
no matter how late I get it, I'll do it at the 11th hour, but I always
But you do
finish
it.
the
Yeah,
performance.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So I guess that's just like I guess that's not even a spirit of that's just the spirit of triple ITH in general.
No,
It's
Akash,
like-
it's the spirit of you. I have dedicated an entire semester trying to change Akash.
I mean, okay, no, look,
Make him a little more sane.
look, we have to make a poll about this. And Akash, honestly, if the deadline is at 11:59, there are not many people who are gonna start like
True.
6 weeks before like you do, Akash. Come on.
Yeah. Okay, that's a whole other thing. Both these Akashs
Yeah, let's
start
not
at
go
like
there.
the opposite times. This guy's like, whenever there's an assignment out, right? Like 1 hour later, Aanegola's like, bro, let's go play basketball. I'm done with the assignment. It's due in 3 weeks.
I
What
mean,
do you
I
want
do
me
think
to
Tanvi
say?
and Manas can tell us more about this since we have to get some input on this from their batch as well.
Yeah.
I think Tanvi probably does it earlier, but I never do it.
No,
There is no chance I do an assignment. And at this point, I'm so used to it that even if it's irregular, I'm not gonna finish it because I know it's gonna get extended.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That is a
think of-
poisonous habit.
I had a
but,
horrible
right?
Yes.
I had a horrible experience in during Sasar. That time we had an assignment and it got extended by like some three times it got extended. Okay, that React app one. Okay, and I mean I sat one whole night that next day and it was an extended deadline already. I'm like, this time they won't extend it. One whole night I sat, and we had the deadline during our midterms or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
So
Same
like,
here.
and I didn't study for the paper. I sat whole night. I did the assignment, and that was some science paper. Okay, and then the next day I'm nicely sleeping. In the paper, I go. I'm so dozed off completely. I don't know what to do in the paper. I come back, okay, and I'm like, okay, assignment deadline also done, and then there's a mail that assignment deadline extended again. I'm like, what the hell?
Yes, we can
just
relate to this
absolutely
because
amazing.
for graphics, we've had this exact same thing where
Okay.
Sir basically extended our deadline
I
2
feel
hours
you need
after the
sleep.
deadline. And for the whole
Yes.
point, like we had to come to terms that, you know what, I haven't done an assignment, but that's okay.
Okay. I love how everything in triple ITH just ends up
Yeah.
like taking this route. Let's
Hey,
have
you
it
back on
can
track.
talk about
Back,
this.
Are you gonna snip this from the final cut?
I don't snip anything except for like trimming the beginning and the end because I don't know how to edit videos.
Professionals.
Professional.
Yeah, I'll learn eventually. Okay, so Unplugged. How was Unplugged? I mean, you've already told how was Unplugged, but still, did you guys like plan for it to be 7 days long, etc.?
So credits to Aakash Jain for that. I think you were the one who came up with the idea, right? It was such a brilliant idea, honestly, to split it into like because it was in the
7 days.
middle of 7 days because it was in the middle of the semester, right? And going to the amphitheater or it was in VC, right? Unplugged. So going to VC and with all the lights and sitting is a different thing, right? Versus opening it up on your laptop when you have 10 deadlines pending, right?
And
Nobody's
exiting 3 hours or 2 hours.
yeah,
or
exactly.
something.
So keeping it in those short, like very sweet snippets was really nice.
I mean, the whole idea was, I mean, as soon as we heard the idea, we were all like, this is just too
Yeah.
good, and we were all in for it. Like there was nobody
Yeah,
who
we
was
just all
against it.
jumped on the boat.
And then
just
you know,
went
we're like, right, by this we can have one last performance, only the coordinator, then we can
Yeah.
do this and that. And that's
We
what
had like
did.
our day.
Our day.
But
And
we also
also
got more
credits-
performances in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Because of
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Mm.
And also, like,
It was
credits
a
to you
win-win
guys
situation.
because I remember when I suggested it a little differently as well. Like, I thought maybe we could stream on YouTube with cross platforms, and we could like come sort of on teams and stuff. But like, I'm glad that we discussed and were able to like shorten it down. And since you're on this topic, I might as well just like give my reasoning behind splitting this. So like, it's like
Oh.
basically when you waste time on YouTube, it's like if you see like multiple 10-15 minute videos, you will watch it. But if you see like this 30-40 minutes videos, you're not gonna watch that because you have to waste your time well.
Is
Like
this a
you're not gonna.
is this a personal attack? Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, actually, me and Akash had an extended conversation about how long we should keep unplugged. This was before we actually planned to split into like 15-minute
Yeah.
short videos per day, and we were like, okay, we should like not go beyond like an hour, hour and a half because that's way too long to sit. And also the time in which we kept unplugged was amazing because it's quite a while after classes, and it's like that time when you usually unwind and chill, at least for dinner
Yeah,
time or whatever.
and honestly, that's one time we wish we could have had Meltdown. But like, I remember, I guess we just couldn't have it towards March end because it was too soon to Felicity. Felicity had gotten postponed a bit, so there was no reasoning to keep it there. And our initial plan of keeping it, I think, early to mid-April, went completely haywire considering how the end of the semester went for everyone.
Code
And
Tantra.
yes.
Oh God.
No, I mean, just in general, I think it's like one of the first times the college has actually had to extend the semester beyond the normal time. So we actually had no choice but to postpone it because we just couldn't deal with it. And while this has been a slightly awkward time because it's in the middle of internship for seniors, we're glad it happened.
Nice. Wait, you were talking about Meltdown.
No, we started with unplugged and then shifted to Meltdown.
Yeah, Akash
Why
is saying
why
that,
we didn't do Meltdown in that
confused
format? I
sometimes.
guess.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
a
why we
function
didn't do
of
Meltdown in that
so-
format? It's just a simple answer, right? Unplugged, it was like no restrictions. You can kind of do what you like, and like even if you're alone, you're just singing or karaoke or you're just playing an instrument by yourself. It's perfect time. But Meltdown is more about getting together and performing as a band,
Yeah.
which is something that we've never experienced, me, Aakash, Raghav, but like that's what the seniors conveyed to us, and Abhinav really sold us on his idea of Meltdown, and I think we wanted to preserve that aspect of Meltdown, and that's why we enforced like, okay, you got to have at least 3 people or figure it out. So that kind of reduced the number of performances because coordinating is a is a big
Unplugged
part
was
of.
mostly solo performances, like very few.
Yeah, very few.
Yeah,
like,
there were a few performances with 2 people. Very few. I think there was like 2 performances with 3 people maybe, but most of them were solo or duos. That's
Right. And I guess you can just like figure out the difference in recording if you compare the guitar. Like for unplugged, recording the acoustic guitar is quite simple. You have a Dolby on app or something, you can use a mic. For electric, you need to have a way, either a hub or a processor or something, or an amp that can connect to the laptop. You need to be decent enough at Audacity to snip clips, and you need someone to put it all together. So these
Or
were
you need an
definitely challenging.
With the green lights.
Yes, with the green lights.
Arihant, Tanish sent us his bass on mic, and Arihant cleaned it up so well. That was nice.
Yes. But also, Raghav, like just besides Arihant, as you had mentioned, the mixed fathers, even the juniors have one, the seniors that you guys mentioned, Dalton. So it is necessary to have like this whole team, not just the performers. You need people who can perform and record. You need people who can snip it together, which is very
Video
important to have a band
editors.
performance. And video editors, of course. But video editors is required for Unplugged as well, so that's not focus here. But that's basically why the difference in performance comes. Add that to like the difficult time right now, and how we can't ask people for performances either. So that's completely understandable.
Raghav.
Raghav?
Seems
Oh
spaced out
wait, I was
completely.
just waiting for people to talk about stuff. All right, so how was okay in the
Okay, can you
continuing down-
phrase your questions a little differently? Your questions have been how was
Yes,
X,
I
then
mean,
how was something else.
what else do I ask you?
What about
Oh yes, Akash. I guess I can ask the next question because I do think we have to talk about this. Can you please explain your cameo appearance, Akash? And you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, well, things weren't really conducive at home to record for a few weeks before the performance in Meltdown in general, so I wasn't able
It
to
was a
contribute as much as I would have liked.
difficult
And it was a difficult and dark time. Anyway, so then Aakash is like, okay, we want you to do this, and well, I'm always open to making a fool of
Hey,
myself.
no. You said
I was
you said
completely
I
down.
want to do Candace's part, and we're like,
That's
sure.
let's not disclose too much here. Let's just stick with my story. My version of the story is what sticks. Yeah. So then, yeah, I'm always open to like anything memey. So we just went with it. Me and Aakash got on a call, and it was honestly like a 5-minute job at most. Except the problem is that I was laughing too much, and Aakash was laughing too much, which just added to the problem. it was very difficult to record that clip. And yeah, and then I just found a random orange T-shirt, and I was like, okay, so this is my hair now. So it's a very, just on the spot kind of thing. Just watch the video and pull the voice off. Yeah, also the Phineas in the middle also, I think Aakash was like, look, we need this too. So that was like a 10-second job. So yeah, that happened, and that's on YouTube forever now.
There's a bunch of events that couldn't come online from last year, right? So there's stuff like Flash Mob and Euphonic. So
Yeah, see,
what do you
the
think of
Euphonic
Flash Mob?
actually,
Okay, again, I'm really sorry. I mean, this is like the only way you can literally do a flash mob is if we like hack into the websites thing and just like play us performing. So like
Come
flash
on,
mob
but Triple
is
IT,
No,
we
we
have a
won't do
hacking
that.
club. We can do this.
Flash mob
hacking
is
club,
about the
guys,
dance club, dude. We're just
programmer
like,
club. If you guys are listening to us, like, come on, like, hit us up.
yeah, and about Euphonic, so the first years actually came late, right? So the timeline of Euphonic is usually early in the semester, and Unplugged is a good like 2 months or like 1.5 months away from Euphonic, but that we couldn't have that because then that would push it to next time. We just decided to cut Euphonic and then just have Unplugged and then get the first years to perform in Unplugged. So that was like their induction to the music club.
We have two Apex heads here who can, I guess, vouch for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In fact, I think when we had the Unplugged, that time only half the juniors had come.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think
That's
probably the
so
next
lucky,
Unplugged
man.
would be more interesting, would be the first one for a few others.
We'll see some fresh talent.
Wait, do y'all think we'd be able to get back to campus by next sem?
No. So, I mean, this is like, I mean, they would probably allow people to come in, but they won't. I mean, the next semester will be online for sure.
Get vaccinated.
Painful to hear.
It doesn't
I am
actually. It
vaccinated.
doesn't. Yeah, like Akash, it doesn't matter if you're vaccinated, right? The situation is still the same. Even people who are vaccinated can be carriers.
Akash, hope is a very powerful tool, yeah.
Fair
So
enough.
keep
Yeah.
this going.
Okay. Wait, so Euphonic was like the first time when I realized how much I appreciated an audience. I think that's fair to say for me, right? Because I didn't have much of I didn't have a large audience to perform to before Euphonic. Like you get audiences in school and stuff, but I didn't have opportunities to do that stuff in school. So Euphonic was like a really nice icebreaker to Triple IT. Didn't happen this year, but I guess Unplugged covers for that.
Also, speaking of you requiring an audience, I guess to people who don't know, Raghav was my roommate in college, and I think he made himself very, very well heard to everyone in my wing, possibly my floor and those above and below us as well. Since I guess if you hear Raghav singing, he has a range higher than like
sir.
almost any single person I know, and he can scream at the pitch of his lungs. So basically, we've had seniors come over, I think either twice or thrice, telling us/him to shut up. And
Hey bro,
yes,
you were
each time with
playing the
increasing
acoustic
intensity.
guitar pretty loud.
Yes. Okay, and
Okay, listen,
I
the
won't
guitar
even
has a
blame
cap
them.
on how loud
See,
it can
I
get.
won't even blame them because once it was in the afternoon, and once I distinctly remember it was around 12 p.m., 12 a.m. or something.
12 a.m.
So
Yeah.
it was
I think
it
it
was
was
completely
after 12
warranted.
a.m.
I think in our hostel after 12 a.m. is still fine, but in the afternoon wouldn't be accepted.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Once happened in the afternoon, once was at night. So it was two
Yeah, I was
different
actually in your
seniors.
room when it happened in the
Yeah.
afternoon. I thought the door was gonna like get blown off its hinges, but those guys
Yes.
belted the door. So if you go to Raghav's room ever, just make sure you carry a couple socks, yeah?
A what?
Couple socks.
Socks?
Yeah, bro. No, to shove them down your damn throat.
How was anyone supposed to make that connection, huh?
What?
Come on, please.
I heard cotton or something, and I'm like, okay, just to
I was
like,
like,
I'm happy. I'm happy we've learned about Akash's past now. It kind of explains how you are right now.
Oh god. Okay. So, how will you do a roadblock online? Because I want a roadblock. That was, yeah.
I mean, see, the roadblock relies on just people spontaneously coming up and performing, which isn't possible in an online setting because it requires recording, and doing it live just doesn't work because of, connection issues and whatever can go wrong will go wrong online. So like it's not feasible. So roadblock probably won't be happening online anytime soon.
Please
Let's see
do
if
tell
we
the
can
people what
work something out.
roadblock is for the uninitiated.
Oh, right. For people who don't, I think Manas and Tanvi, you should take this because you've
Right, right.
experienced more than us.
So Roadblock was, I think, Abhinav's idea. So the first time Roadblock happened was in our batch, and the idea was that basically in Unplugged we couldn't get everyone to perform because I mean in offline events you have limited time, and you need to again restrict that on the fact that if there are too many people, you need to audition and get only few performances in. So the idea was of Roadblock was that we just, I mean, to get like a street performance vibe, we just block the road near Parijat, and I mean, we have like few set of fixed performances. Whoever are interested, register and keep like we are going to perform. And the rest of the time was that anyone can just spontaneously come. The instruments are kept there. If you want, anyone was, I mean, any one of us was ready to like just go in there and play drums when someone is singing, like everything on spot. And just to get more people to perform and people who really want to sing but probably could not get an opportunity in Unplugged. So it was for those people that they can come perform. And of course, we would have many other quality performances in Roadblock too.
Aakash, you performed a lot in Roadblock, right? Like I remember you were
Yes,
there on
Aakash,
stage
thank
the
you so
entire
much.
time.
I mean,
Yes.
Roadblock was the event where even I was allowed to sing. I could sing. Abhinav sang.
Yes. Like,
Right.
see,
It was
Manas,
completely
see, the thing is, I don't know if you remember, but basically, I remember I had a lot of performances planned. There was even one where I was gonna sing, but the previous day I ate something that did not agree with me, and I spent the next
What a
entire day
way
of
to
Felicity
phrase it.
taking.
I
Yes,
ate something that didn't agree with me.
yes, and I spent the next day puking my guts out. I was happy, thankfully okay for the third day, but yeah, I kind of
Yeah,
missed almost the
if you
entire
want to take
second day of
Akash
Felicity.
out, like just add 1 teaspoon of chili powder to his food. That's it. You won't see him for a week. Like I guarantee it.
I
Akash, you're telling
think,
me this when Raghav is sitting here?
yeah, I have a very low tolerance of spice.
Yes.
I won't
So
I mean,
following up on one thing that
Yeah.
Akash said about live performances, right? So in one of the very like beginning ke meetings that we had with, we had meetings with like Devansh, Manu and Prakriti and all, just when lockdown had begun and we'd all been sent home to discuss what we can do for the music club. So at that point, we actually played around with the idea of having live performances, and it was pretty quickly ruled out. So like, if you just think about it, it's like nearly impossible to have live performances, right? Even a single person playing live, unless that person has like a really great internet connection, is not possible, right?
Or your Bon
Tanvi,
Jovi.
I do think Abhinav tried to pull this off, right, for the seniors farewell when
Yeah, he
lockdown had
did
just
do it. That's
started.
what I was just thinking. So he
Exactly.
did do it for the seniors farewell, but then like if it comes to like roadblock
Did it
and all
work?
the fun,
Yes.
it did
Yeah,
work.
I
I mean,
mean,
Didn't
it
it
was
work?
okay. You can only have at max one person perform.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
You
And
can't
exactly.
have
I
more than
think
one. So
plus,
roadblock and all out of the question.
and
Like,
again, the
Yeah.
mics, normal mics on the phones and
Yeah.
laptops are not good enough to take in guitar and singing together. It just
Yeah.
like loses a
Yeah.
lot of quality, and it
Yeah.
just gets horrible. Then you can't really
And,
do
and
much.
and the whole point of roadblock is that when people are on their way to from hostel or to an event on the road, they see something happening, so they can stop and do something. Like right now,
Oh
what do? We
God.
basically have to set up a yeah.
I'll
So
tell
we'll
you
have to set up a
something.
Teams call, and when we set up the Teams call, we're gonna have to like let people join and leave, and anyone can start performing at any time. And I did not have to tell you how sad that sounds. See, like Roadblock is a Felicity event, and honestly, like some of these events, they already have a good reputation, so there's no point trying to hold on to them when we clearly can't do them. Roadblock is something that will be part of Felicity, and whenever Felicity happens properly, we'll be sure to reintroduce it.
yeah, and
Properly.
something
What
we
shade?
actually
By properly, I mean on
something
campus. No offense.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
something we kind of enforce. So even though we could have easily let go of events because a lot of clubs have done that, not pointing any fingers, but we could have let go of events, but we decided to keep
why?
we decided to keep our flagship events in both semesters just so that the music club kept itself going. Because I mean, it'll be hard to get people introduced to the music club after if they haven't seen it from the first year, right? Because things get hectic and like
Hmm.
it just gets more and more difficult. So we decided to keep things
Like,
going.
like imagine that the juniors that come in now won't even know what Abhinav is, or like won't recognize that hair.
Oh
What a
god.
weird phrase. They won't even
So
know what Abhinav is.
so fun fact, in Meltdown, right, we had like this flex in the background, which had, I don't know who it was, but that person had like, it wasn't Abhinav.
It wasn't Abhinav, but
Yeah.
the poster. I mean, if anyone would see the poster, they would think that is Abhinav because the hair was exactly like Abhinav's.
I think it was
And
Flash, right? I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know. I
Who
don't
it
know.
was. So
Anyway,
like
so
everyone
for
was
those
like,
of you who don't know, Abhinav is a Jedi master. I'm just gonna put that out there.
He's the fourth. He's okay. He's not a fourth year
he
anymore.
just graduated. Yeah.
Yeah. He's still a third year for me. super long hair, amazing drums and enthusiasm.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Like he was a
Yeah.
proper pioneer for the music club, you know.
That's true.
Yeah, whenever any of us think of the music club, we probably think Abhinav. But
Yeah.
First, yeah.
Manas, you gotta take up the mantle, bro, or Tanvi. Grow your hair. What
He
do you-
laid a lot of the groundwork, you know.
That's true.
Abhinav. A lot, yeah.
Like for example, for like, organizing an event like for Meltdown, I'm not too sure about it, but I'm sure the finances were quite high. So like it's just that setting those up, talking to people, getting permission for stuff like this is something that requires a lot of effort. And I guess like Manas and you guys have worked with this, but we've absolutely not had to do any of this. Like most of our work has come online. So I guess
Yeah.
you guys can tell us a bit more about it.
I mean, so stuff in college gets very different. So, I mean, getting a budget was never an issue for the music club because, I mean, whatever events we asked for, we would usually
What a
get it.
flex.
Yeah, I mean,
Because-
it was. I mean, because by the time we came, I think probably Abhinav had set a ground before Abhinav Arya sir was there, and people, I mean, people liked it. There was a nice participation. So even college would, I mean, there would be professors who would come and attend the event. So that was
And to
always a
perform
plus.
also.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
perform also exactly. So that was always a plus for us. And other than that, I mean, in offline events, something these guys probably would not know, but in events like Meltdown, the getting everything coordinated would be really difficult. So like they come, they set their whole sound system up. Then we need to stay there. We need to do sound check. Every band has to come, get their sounds
Sound
right,
check.
and then sound check would take a lot
A
of time.
lot of time,
And
God.
because
Oh, yeah.
in events like Meltdown, it was still fine because we would have proper sound engineers come. So we tell them they understand our language and it gets all done. But in other events, it would get really tough. Like events like Unplugged and all, doing a whole sound check was so tough because the person there would not understand anything we would say, and he
Yeah.
would just not listen. He would just do whatever he wanted to do. But
I
And
remember-
also one more
yeah.
thing, if you're ever on campus when there's unplugged happening and you're around, don't be around Tanvi. She'll make you move carpets around, okay?
We have to move a lot of stuff. So we
have
like
to move a
set-
lot of stuff.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of logistics.
And
Yeah, so
I
she
remember
just
I
uses you as
spent
slave
like
labor.
I spent like 10 minutes changing the color of one light, saying change it to pink, change it back.
Always, along with our performance, we always wanted to have a nice vibe in the event.
Yeah.
So we always try to make sure everything is just perfect. So Abhinav was always very particular about sound check. So he would
Yeah,
make sure
very.
that at least one of us is there at least 2 hours before the event and gets everything right. So we would always make sure the event goes perfect.
Yeah. So if an event is happening, like your full day is gone in that.
Yeah, the entire day is gone for
Yeah.
sure.
I
Yeah,
do
I
have
think
a
it's
point.
during
When-
inaugural.
of
yeah,
an event.
I think Akash, you do
Yeah, yeah.
remember when Unplugged happened? Abhinav was our DSM TA, and
Oh.
since he graduated, it's okay to say it. He basically let us skip tutorial and stuff to work it.
Hey,
Unplugged.
bro, skipping
And-
tutorials
This
you can
is-
say anytime.
See.
What is
See,
this?
look, Raghav. Now it's not like a dumb story, but if you're a UG1
Yeah,
First time.
who's starting to call like, oh, this is good, it's a big thing. Okay, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
And
are
also-
40
also-
people attending the tutorials in UG1 right now.
Like sound check during inaugurals. I think all of us got involved. All of us were hyper. Like I was jumping on and off
It
the
was
stage.
great.
Yeah.
I don't
And the
know.
stage setup and like amazing.
Inaugurals is another vibe. I mean, we as
Yeah, something else.
performers just love it. I think you would probably relate, Raghav.
Yeah.
It was
Bro,
amazing.
yeah,
no,
very
no,
motivating,
no, I
yeah.
wouldn't relate. I was very nervous. That was like probably the largest audience I had performed to, and like it's
I mean,
still
before you
just
start,
like
probably-
people.
No,
Yeah,
that's actually a
so
good point. I do have to raise that point because Raghav, I don't think you have any like
I don't have any
overly
experience in
high-
performing.
musical ex-
That's the thing.
exactly.
Like,
So, like-
But
I
I
was
think, I
with
mean,
Aakash
hands
Jain
down-
and Aakash Aanegola. Both of these people have done like 7-8 years with their instruments if they've performed and stuff.
12
Then I am there in
perhaps.
the middle of the band trying to sing stuff and I don't know what to do. I
I mean,
forget the
I
lyrics,
think-
but luckily Aanegola is standing there on stage, he's staring at me to make sure that I don't break down on stage.
No, come on. You don't remember what I said to you? I'm like, just look at me, Jill, the audience.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
fine.
I know that was
But,
very
just-
helpful. Thank you.
I mean, that
Yeah,
performance,
then-
I think before you started, you would have been nervous, but after you guys started, I think
Yeah,
even
yeah,
you guys
yeah.
could feel
Exactly.
it. That
Yeah.
performance was just
Yeah, that's true.
another
It was
level. I mean.
great.
It was
Yeah,
an
I mean,
amazing
like-
performance. I don't think UJ1 can ever even see that performance. We don't have the videos, nothing is
Okay,
just
let's
there.
not
Photography
oversell
club.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, it was great.
No, it was an amazing. I think if you guys have a video, you should like upload it. We can upload it on the Music
Yeah,
Club
Where's the
YouTube
video?
channel.
Good.
I've been looking for the video. Someone
I
tell
have
me
I have found
where-
our performances video, like a few of them, and then I received some drive wherein there are our performance, but all snippets.
Yeah.
You know, like 10-second snippets. You can't sit and merge all of them to get one performance. So I don't know when we'll
And,
get the full videos.
For
Hopefully.
ours, I
It's been
have a
longer
small.
than a year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So for ours,
FC's
for the
answer,
YouTube
please.
performance, I remember, we had like, I have a recording. I remember that one of my friends took, but it's not overly good and it's quite far away. So I guess that's basically the best we have. But I guess when you have the photography club on here, you should like.
Yeah,
Get it on
someone
it.
told me Sunil Anumolu took the recording, but he's graduated from college, so
No, so
Yeah,
I mean,
the only
the thing is, they have another team which comes. I mean, there is this proper
Yeah.
recording team which comes who records the entire Felicity. And ideally, the process is that we would go and get, I mean, one of the people would go and get it on a hard disk or something. And I don't know how big the files are that they can't upload it on cloud, or I don't know what the scene is. But usually, I mean, like if you see the Felicity page, you can see the inaugurals performances for the other years. There are full performance videos. And I think from our first performance, from then I don't think there are any videos which have come up. Even our first performance was not there.
Yeah,
So I don't know
my
when
one
we
regret
received them.
from the time of inaugurals was like, I think when we were singing Zinda and just yelling for absolutely no reason, was not jumping off of the stage into the crowd. Like that was the one regret I have.
Okay.
let's not assume that the crowd was willing to carry us.
Also, I think you guys have to remember that there was like a barrier between the stage and
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
and it was
yeah,
like
that's
He just
one
fall on the
reason.
ground.
Yeah, so we fall out as like the
Gonna,
poor
like-
people who like actually.
Yeah.
I think one thing I
I
heard.
think there's some really,
I think
there's
one
some
thing I
really
heard.
sick pictures of us. Like Raghav, you,
Oh,
me,
the
and
pictures.
Ritik.
The
I know,
pictures,
right?
the pictures in inaugurals. Oh god,
Those
they're
pictures are
used
True.
really.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
we
do
just like
understand,
plug
like-
them everywhere, like in all
Yeah.
the transitions and meltdown
like-
and unplugged videos.
That's true. Like we don't have the videos, but it gives a fantastic job on the photography of the whole event.
Yeah.
Okay, so about Roadblock, back to Roadblock. When we were doing Roadblock, I have one complaint, and that complaint is everyone was going to the Monster bike show, and Unplug was going on here.
I was so angry about that. I ran after Srinath. I was like, what are you doing?
So so this Srinath was taking there because like they had some event there, and I was so pissed off. Srinath was not near me. I was just shouting. Nikunj was there. I was just shouting at him. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you taking people away? He's like,
They
I'm not
literally
even
revved the
doing
bike.
anything.
They came there and revved the bike, and then the crowd got up and followed them. What is
Yeah,
this?
like they
Yeah,
came in
see,
front of
see.
us and they revved the bike, and I
Sheep.
was so pissed off.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I was just shouting at Nikunj, and he's like, dude, I'm not even doing anything. Like, go tell him. Like, I can't go talk to him. He's not
It's like
here.
this, right? It's like this. If you offer students free stuff, they're gonna go.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
nothing
And
to complain about that.
some fancy things he was doing.
I
and
didn't
all.
even get Monster free.
Dude,
Everyone got Monster.
no, and remember the
except
time when things came for Independence Day? They sold it for like half price or something. That also everyone crazy about.
Oh,
Like,
Sting.
yeah, so this end of
Sting
discount
was
anything
like
free.
blood.
Yes. Oh,
Akash, come on.
Yeah, I turned that into a
Sting.
business actually, but that's a story for another time.
That was a whole mood, and I remember like this one time, like like when we got the first bottle, I don't know how they allowed it or why they allowed it, but we basically got this entire carton of like 24, and I don't know
Aakash, who
I don't know
smuggled
what
it
the
for you?
issue was.
For the
Yes,
uninitiated, Sting is like an energy drink. It's a small red bottle
Yes.
of energy.
It's the most
Okay,
popular
okay,
energy
now,
drink in Triple X.
And I remember. it
I'll
was
tell
like-
you why
it-
it's the
it-
most popular.
It's sold
It's
heavily
because
during
it's the only
exams.
one that's
It has 100
allowed.
mg.
Yeah,
no,
that's true.
Raghav, that's not the issue. The issue is that it has more caffeine per ml than any of the others. I remember for like a 350 ml bottle, it was like 100 plus. And I was concerned. I'm like, is this even legal?
Then you proceeded to drink 4 bottles at once.
Yes, exactly. Like I remember
I
Aakash.
Oh my God.
Akash sneaked in like this entire carton of 24 or something.
Yeah,
and
I
we came to
smuggled
bio
that
and,
stuff.
and it was something else. So basically,
Bro, I was
don't know.
coming back from mess, okay, and these people phoned me and said, "Don't worry, but Akash is freaking out because he drank 4 Sting." I'm like,
It wasn't 4. It was like 3, maybe 3.5. But yeah.
So this thing reminds me. So
Yes.
I was so stressed in campus. I mean, there's so much academic workload and all. I drank an entire bottle of Sting and still slept within 5 minutes.
Oh
And I
my
was
God.
done. And after drinking Sting, I was still just sleeping. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, caffeine doesn't work,
one
bro.
time I heard a story where Sadik just literally swallowed coffee powder and then he slept in class or something like that.
I have not heard
Highly
this
possible.
story.
You sure it was coffee powder, right?
Isn't this going on
Also,
YouTube?
yeah.
Yes,
Also,
it is.
coming back to Sting, guys, I do have to point out, like, I mean, I remember like once afterwards when we had like 2 bottles left or something, Raghav spilled some of this thing on the floor,
Oh
and his
God.
solution to a spilled sugar drink was to mop it on the entire floor. Like he didn't dab it, then use water. He literally just
Hey.
mopped the entire
Oh,
sugar
God.
water
Okay.
on the floor.
In my defense, I don't remember this, so this didn't happen.
This is the guy running across.
He was high on
Remember,
Sting. That's why he doesn't
anyway,
remember.
Akash, we completely forgot. Going back to inaugural, Raghav wore a kurta.
Hey, it
And on
wasn't a
top of that,
kurta. It had Batman
It's a
v
kurta.
Superman logos all over it.
No, it was a kurta. And moreover, like,
And it was as good as the movie. Yeah.
yeah, 1 hour before the performance was like the
Okay.
worst time ever because I was wearing shorts. I don't know. For those of you who know me, I don't wear pants. And Akash gave me such a hard time. He was so serious about it.
No,
That,
no.
like,
See, this guy will wear shorts to like the.
Aanegola,
You'll
not
wear
me,
shorts to your own wedding, Akash. Yeah, Akash will wear shorts to his own wedding. I can guarantee you. If he had the choice.
It's so weird. Someone can just like clip your face out and say that you're talking in third person. Speaking of calling
nerves
someone
really got to
Aakash.
Raghav that day.
Yes, that's another habit of mine. I like
Oh
just
God, Aakash
call
Jain
people
calls
by
me
mix.
Akash.
The thing is,
Because
I
he
don't
talks
know
to me
why.
so much.
It's like whenever I'm just, I guess, a little excited, I
Just
call
me.
people by another
No one
name.
else.
No, not just you, not just you. I've
Well,
called a third
now
year,
I'm offended.
like, see, I thought a third year, I remember in my first year, first semester, this third year person, who I won't name, I thought it was a first year, and I commanded him like he was like working for us, and he was super confused because I called him another name, and he just left. And he was like one of the Apex members, I remember that.
Wait, hold up. Your first year Apex, I think
Hilarious.
we can figure out who this person
No,
is.
no, you cannot, and I will not name that. And
Okay.
yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on this topic. Back to music club, Rap.
Yeah.
Back to music club. Okay, so you guys had this whole thing in the beginning of the semester where you guys called us to Srujana. For the uninitiated, Srujana is like this building which is actually just like a one-bedroom house in the middle of campus. It's a one-bedroom house in the middle of campus that you can enter.
It
It has a
is.
bunch of instruments in. It's like Music Club HQ, right?
Hmm.
Is it safe to say that? Will any other club get offended?
No,
I
no.
don't think.
No,
Okay, cool.
music
Yeah,
club
Srujana
property.
is
If anyone has a
They
problem,
shouldn't.
Okay, Srujana is basically Music Club HQ. So you guys called us in there and asked us to perform in front of you, and that was like, I don't know if you guys cared about it as much, but I cared about it a lot for some reason.
So this is during our first year also when we were called, we were all like, oh my god, we have to do the best here. Then only can we enter music club, and we're like, oh my god, we have to do it. And that was, I mean, they made us sit, and everybody's informally performing. And my immediate question was like, do I need to do something very good here or not? And like, should I perform my best? And they're like, yeah, you can do it. They're all laughing, and I'm so serious. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So this was another thing. I mean, we always had it late at night. I think even for you guys, it
Oh,
would have been
yeah.
late at night, right?
yeah, it was late. So I remember
Yeah.
And it
mine.
was
Like
when
I came
houses
in
were
before I-
relevant, so whenever we talked about our houses, one of y'all said yes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Also,
I don't know,
if you have a topic of houses, I do have to add, I do not like it when like two houses like casually abuse me and Akash.
Oh yeah. Also, Akash, aren't you in Agri?
Yes.
So
And
what
I
is
do it,
what
but
is
I
the
have-
slogan
Oh
of
my
your
God.
house?
I have said the
You heard her
chant
name?
very, very enthusiastically multiple times. I will admit.
I've woken up to that, dude. I'm just, what did I do? And then I realized it's a funny. Anyway, so like, yeah, our whatever introduction to the music
Yeah.
club in Srujana. Like, I remember when I came, I had my own violin because violins in Srujana are not in good condition. I started playing a scale because that's generally how I warm up, and everybody was judging me. They're just giving me like looks like, what is this guy doing? Because he has a violin. And then I'm like, okay, I'm pulling out the stops. I don't remember what I played, but then I think Manas is going insane if I remember.
yeah. The first time I heard him play, see, I had never, I have never seen anyone play violin like properly and all. So the first time I saw this guy play, I went all mad, and like he was so good, okay, and I was going all insane. I'm like, this guy's so good. And then these guys came up with a guitar and stuff. I mean, I think your batch is like insanely talented in terms of.
I don't think Aakash Jain showed up at all.
Yeah, I have to say, I was very into that. Like, Getting a start again. I did not
What
go
a
to this.
coordinator! Didn't show up
Look,
for events.
see, that's just it. Like at that point, okay, you have to note first off, I'm Dasa. We were like, educated, like, you know what, like the Indian situation dragging out is a big deal. What I thought was,
Wait,
like,
wait, wait, wait. Can
some,
you say that
look,
again?
see. Some seniors, I don't know, are calling us to this place at like 12 a.m. to
Okay, yeah,
perform.
gotcha.
I was like, you know what?
Sounds
I don't
fishy.
know if I should do this. And basically, I just went to my room. And
Yeah, I think the
now
first time
that
I
was
heard him
it?
perform,
Dude, I don't
Yes.
remember going and performing. Like
I
in
don't
my
think even
first
you were
year.
there. So in
I
my,
didn't come.
I don't think
Yeah.
Sun was also there. So I
Yeah,
remember. I mean,
dude.
the first time I saw Akash perform was probably during inaugural practice, and
Yeah.
that's when I saw him play guitar. And I was like,
No, it was
Like
like
wow.
who's
euphonic.
Wait,
Yeah,
not even
He played
unplugged?
in Euphonic and
Yeah.
Euphonic unplugged
No,
happened, bro.
I don't
Euphonic wasn't a big
remember.
deal.
See, the
Raghav, Euphonic,
first
yeah,
time I think I
Euphonic
saw you guys.
wasn't.
Yeah, Euphonic
Yeah,
was like kind
Euphonic
of silly.
wasn't big.
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't
Thing is,
big for Aakash
yeah.
big.
No, like,
Yeah,
thing
I
is,
mean,
I
like
was cut. Yeah, I
go
got
on, go on,
sorry,
go
sorry,
on.
Manas. I basically got invested during Unplugged. I remember like at that time I went to Shujna. You know, I talked to Abhinav a bit. I met Akash and all at the time already. Talked to Aman, Mehul, the others. And so I guess at Unplugged time was when I got acquainted to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. So Akash, but Abhinav was the one who came presenting the music club. Didn't you like instantly fall in love with the guy and just want to follow him around everywhere?
What a
Like, does it happen?
what a guy.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, if he's there, I'm fine. Like everything's gonna be okay. I didn't even think about the whole.
I mean, Akash, there's no point buttering anyone else.
Apologies for the ear scratching. So, prom. Prom is a dance crew event that music club had a part of.
I have no comments about that event.
It wasn't
I think Akash and
bad.
Akash.
Yeah. See, I
Akash,
mean,
go
like,
ahead.
I guess overall, what I can say is, I mean, the dance club has the views of the event, and that's perfectly
Dance
good.
crew,
And
how
from a
dare
music
you.
club, dance club, I'm so sorry. And the music
I'm
club,
so sorry.
yeah, and the music club, I guess whoever was performing there at least enjoyed. I think we did a good job. You know, like me and
Yes.
Akash, we did the Titanic theme, and it was good. You know, it was fun. The lights were set up nice, and we got some really good band pictures out of that. Because since then we
Yes.
haven't actually.
I think that's
it's
the
like
only place where we got a proper
yes,
band picture.
yes, like
Yeah.
I remember only 3 places where like the current UG2, UG3, or Millennium, as Akash would like us to call it, has good pictures. Is in Prom,
Oh,
in
there's a whole
Sarat
story
City,
about
which
that
isn't very
name.
good, and also inaugurals, which is kind of scattered. But besides this, we don't have any pictures, and that's something we're actually.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
also
the
in
thing
this,
about meltdown, no, not meltdown. The thing about inaugural pictures is none of them have Abhijit, because that poor fellow
because the
sitting in the
drums
back.
Oh, no.
He's sitting 1 kilometer away playing his drums, and everyone's on the front. So
no, and also the
Yeah,
prom
yeah.
night, like Akash didn't have any control over what we were wearing, so I actually turned up in a lungi. That was honestly the most laughs we've had as a band. I
that was
think.
prom. Yeah. You turned up in, which
Yeah,
you
that
dropped
was,
halfway, revealing your shots as usual.
yeah. It was a way to sneak shots in the event, and Akash felt so betrayed.
I'm
It was
sure
really
dance crew
hilarious.
was thrilled about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
dance crew was beyond thrilled. Like I remember.
Oh God, they were thrilled. Yeah. I enjoyed performing for prom. I don't know what happened around it though.
So prom was really different for your batch. At least the whole vibe of prom, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if like like it was like
See.
dance crew really took a lot of effort, you know.
Effort, yeah.
It was really nice. Like the decorations and everything was
Our
great.
batch prom was crazy.
Our batch prom was full
What happened
time
in your
class.
batch?
So our batch
wait.
prom, it's like initially it started with whatever, okay, you enter in pairs and blah 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 blah. And we were supposed to have like a nice vibey night there, but nothing. It got converted into a DJ night. Everybody's in a circle and
Hey, same.
it's
That
like a proper
Hey,
that
same.
DJ
kind
night.
of
And
happened for us as well.
That-
that
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
No,
quite
no,
early.
it was
like,
a
you
proper
guys-
yeah.
Oh, you guys are DJ night like since the beginning. Oh, we
Almost,
for
yes.
us.
Not like yeah.
Fast. I mean, the Abhinav Akshay, I remember they were performing a few songs. That happened.
Uske
As soon as they went, done. I mean, there was no
For
good
us-
music play. It was seriously direct down.
Yeah, I think our
I
prom
hope
we
y'all are
decided to
not
mess around.
generating beef. Okay, y'all know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
sir.
involved in
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir, because you
remember our
definitely
bad
didn't
decision.
raise the topic or divert it towards the side at all.
Yep. Akash, remember
I
our
am not
decision to
involved
mess
in
around
this. I am
completely?
neutral. Okay.
Yes, except that
Okay,
you
so
participated.
I enjoyed my stay. So for us, how prom went was we went in. I think we took up half of their time in our performances, which were all acoustic like stuff. And then when we stopped doing that, they began the DJ night, which I think they were going for the DJ night. So yeah, I
I mean,
think
last
that's
year everybody loved that. So
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. People.
See, the thing is, it's not. It's like the dance crew can't make people dance there, right? It's just that even when you're performing a slow song, if it's kind of awkward between people or if they don't want to dance, they can't make them. But
that's
I
true.
remember, like when they
Yeah.
started, like people at the dance crew, they started dancing and stuff. But it's like
Yeah, I
you
don't think
can't
anybody knows how to
predict.
slow dance.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
When we
like
were doing
Yeah,
acoustic,
everybody just
when we
like
were doing the yeah, when we were doing the acoustic songs, right? It's us performing. Like if this is the room, then over here we're performing. Over here, everyone's on the sides except for the coordinators who are pulling people out to dance.
yes.
And when the acoustic songs stop, when the DJ songs begin, everyone's vibing.
See, like that is a triple ID thing, and I mean that's
Yeah.
perfectly all right. You can't control how people act or force them to do something they're not comfortable with. And all in all, I think it was a nice event. It was good lights, good setup. So I think that's not bad.
Akash, next prom dance with me, yeah?
Yeah.
I couldn't understand if that was approval or rejection. What did
We
you
can
do? He
approve
just
in front of you guys, right? But I understand Akash's language. And he's like, yes, 1,000 times yes.
So, you guys did stuff with the Lit Club. There's magical melodies and synesthesia. I don't think I wrote that down right. So, do tell.
Okay, I guess if you have to start with Synthesia, because that was a more recent event, I guess Tanvi and Manas, you guys can tell us because I think you were the ones who found out this thing, right? The Chrome Labs.
So yeah,
I'm not sure who it was.
this was with Art Society, I think.
Oh,
Like
Art
someone
Soc.
from the
My
Art
bad.
Society.
My bad.
Yeah.
It was with Art Society as part of Felicity, right?
Yeah. So someone just sent it to me and said, "Do you want to do this?" I was like, "Sure," but that's literally all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Sure.
Wait,
Okay,
can
we
I
kept an
just
event.
can I
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
say
I
that
think
you'll have to
me,
explain this
Tanvi,
to
and
me
Akash.
because I don't know what happened.
Okay, basically, there's this Google made this tool where you can kind of make music just by filling in blocks with colors. So, like, the art society is like, okay, we can do a joint event because it's music plus, pixel art.
Yeah. It's like
So,
KD Artistic FL Studios, where you have
yep.
like 4-5 instruments, 3-4 octaves. You can place them, control the timing, and
Yeah.
it's very. Like it was something simple, and it's like they were already inaugural, so we didn't have to do anything performance based. And they seemed like a different direction. We had the funds for it. It would have generated a little bit of interest. It was another event, so there was no reason not to do this. Plus,
Yeah,
I
and
guess whoever
also,
submitted, yeah.
I think our first years, the new first years, had a lot of music producers, they like to call themselves. And we're like, okay, we don't really have an event for them because we don't have any competition where you actually make music. So this is like a gist with that side of things. And I think me, Tanvi, and Akash actually had the most fun with it. We just
Yeah.
made random stuff.
It was great.
Yeah. It was
Manas as well. Don't exclude him. I remember that.
I think I just made
Just like
one
one
event
note.
and I was done. Yeah.
Wait,
So,
so
yeah, I'm done.
I think that could be like a good place for y'all to go over the summer, like have an event for producers who just use
Yeah,
digital
actually, that's a
stuff
good
to
idea.
make music.
But the problem is with
So
the number of people. Like,
Yeah, the problem is the people will be
participation would
invested
be
in it.
no,
very
but
little.
it I don't think
See,
it will boil down to participation because y'all will get an audience at least, right?
no, Raghav, the point is the audience. The point is who will submit. Because from our batch, I know around 4 or maybe 5 people who
That's
like
enough.
produce and who produce. They're not the people who will produce and submit. There's
Okay,
one
fair
thing that they
enough.
can produce,
Fair
another thing
enough.
that they will have to produce on command. So I guess like even now we have so many people that perform, and not everyone is able to show up for an event.
Exactly.
Even ask,
Yeah.
so that's just it's that simple.
So how was the Lit Club thing? Magical Melodies.
let's not talk about that, please.
Right. I mean, Akash,
Aanegola.
again, it was quite.
F.
Oh yes. Oh right. I completely
I got
forgot.
out-friended because I didn't try, bro. What is
Yes.
this?
See, so basically, I guess for whoever doesn't know, that was the whole Lit Club event, which place was a Harry Potter themed week where they collaborated with a lot of the clubs, and we thought there's no reason for us not to get in. So the event we came up with was to use anything at all, be it creative, be it a guitar, be it music, be it anything you want, to create the Harry Potter theme or any related music of the sorts. And we got decent participation in it. I think we got around at least 7 8 submission or more. I'm really not sure. I guess one of you guys can correct me. And our two frontrunners were basically Aakash here, who did the theme in Minecraft. I think it's still there on the Insta page. I'm not really sure, and it was
With
quite good.
redstone and
And then
stuff.
yes, and then there's this another friend of ours called Aditya Sunil, who did it on the ukulele. And Akash is obviously being salty as he is because Aditya shared it with his friends and got more likes, which was the
I didn't
reason why
even
he
try
won.
it. I was like, okay,
I think
Minecraft.
Aditya sent it to everyone he knew.
I queued lightning and stuff, dude, to make the wool burn and stuff. It was like a full performance. It was a
okay.
full show. I thought it would
Marketing.
carry stuff.
Having talked to Aditya, I know he didn't do it to win. I know he did it just to annoy and beat you.
Yeah. So he won in both ways.
Yes.
Oh god. Okay, so how is the music clubs? Very generic question. I asked this to everyone. How are you guys structured inside?
I guess the seniors, you guys want to take over for this
Yeah.
one?
So at the moment, we'll have to rethink it now because Abhinav has graduated. But
Okay.
we have Abhinav as our president, 3 directors, me, Manas, and Sudhansh, and we have 4 coordinators: Aakash, Ritvik, and me.
I
Yeah.
always
So
enjoyed when there's Aakash and Aakash together.
Yes,
Aakash
that
stick
honestly,
together. Anyway.
like, see, the Akash is a big source of confusion, and honestly, we thrive off it.
You
Because
get
it's
even
really,
this
really funny.
We get confused, but that's okay because we get like a lot of laughs out of it too. Anyway, so what Abhinav said to us, he wants the music club to be run by people who like perform and understand it because a lot of it is sound check, as we've been over, and like you need people who understand, and who actually perform. So that was a big part of Tanvi, Manas, and Anand selecting us because we performed very actively in all the events, and I think I don't know what we'll do from next time, so don't
Also,
ask us that
Akash, sorry to
question.
interrupt, but more than just perform in the events, you have to realize that they chose us and they were chosen because they helped set up the event as well. Because
It
a
has
lot
no
of
carpet.
logistics. I mean, Akash, that still counts, and it's not just carpets,
And I'm
instruments,
just kidding.
keeping track of them,
Y'all
keeping
set
track
up
of submissions,
carpets?
motivating it.
Yeah, I'm just throwing shade at Tanvi. She knows what I'm talking about.
I mean, okay,
Wait,
so
what do
basically,
you mean
it's
carpets?
a like for
Some
Unplugged, we had
roadblock and stuff.
carpet right in the front.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically, Raghav, the point is that I mean, our setup's a little unorthodox because we don't have any specific teams or anything of that sort. But at least until now, we haven't needed it. The thing is, we're like quite a close-knit group. We get along with each other well. We can complement each other's things. So we haven't needed that much of a team because we've always been self-sufficient. We get help from the outside, of course. You should know that. We often take help from you as well. So that's something that we do, but it's
Oh,
not
and
exactly required. And like online, I have to say that Ritvik has been very, very involved and very
he's
useful
been
for this.
instrumental.
Yes, he's been instrumental because he is
Haha, music
basically
club
the equivalent.
reference.
Nice. So like he's been, I guess, our lead graphics and video designer and everything, along with dealing with the standard logistics. So he's been quite important for all of this. And of course, the shout out to Mehul, who's basically been there for social media and generating audience for our events.
So
I mean,
coming
yeah.
back to the point which I mentioned in the beginning, right? Like music club events are very technically dependent, right? And they are driven by the students. They cannot happen unless we have like a huge group of people to help us. Like we move the drums, from Srujana
Oh
to like
yeah,
either the amphitheater,
I moved
Yeah.
the drums for prom. I remember that because they kept falling off because I didn't know the stand was in 3 pieces for some reason.
Nice.
I'll tell you, during our prom, I moved the drums from Sujana in a suit. I'm wearing a suit, prepared for the prom,
Oh wait,
and there is
oh
no
you
one who's ready to move the drums. And I am itself moving the drums from Sujana because Abhinav and I don't know, they were busy preparing for their performances or what. And I was trying to find people that please help me move the drums. I cannot move it in these clothes.
Akash laughing in his shorts.
Yeah, I'm just like anyway. So one important thing that I think Abhinav would like us to mention is that anybody who just just attends our performances, contributes in any way to the music club is a part of the music club. Like it's all of you out there. Not you, Raghav. You can stop that. But yeah, that's something
there were
that we'd like
5
to say.
of me in meltdown.
Akash, I forgot to change my background, bro.
Oh god,
Oh,
what?
right. I mean, Akash, that's completely up to you. But Akash,
you
there is a
okay.
valid point, and
Yeah.
like the whole spirit of music club has been inclusion and like Sujna and stuff. it's open for anyone to come in and use instruments. Like, sure, we have our own instruments, but we've spent a lot of our funds, and I guess the seniors know this because we haven't seen that happen since we were online. But they spent a lot of the funds getting instruments that anyone can use at any time, and anyone can get the key for Shujna and practice, jam with their friends, whatever. And that has been a big issue for us because like the instruments don't last for very long. We have to replace violins, keyboards, drums. This has been an issue, but this has always helped people come together, like jam whenever they want, sing, learn an instrument. So that's, I guess, what the Spirit of Music Club is, and that's something that Abhinav wanted, and we are carrying forward.
Nice. So okay, I mean, this is gonna be. I think I might get attacked for this by you guys. I don't know, but the music club is more of like a team, right?
I mean, yeah,
Oh,
like
God.
again, the point. No, okay, Raghav, that's fine. Actually, you know what? I will. Oh yes, Akash, thank you very much.
Abhijit is blind in the middle, and then
Yeah, probably this is now me though.
Yes, Akash, nice back.
So what did you mean by like team?
as in like usually a club has members, so they can participate within themselves. You guys have all participants are external, except for the organizers only. So that's more of like a music team kind of.
Right.
Right.
So I mean, when we like earlier also we've always mentioned this, that there is I mean uh, the entire community of IIIT is can be a part of music club. There is no restriction that only these members are part of the music club. However, we need some people to just coordinate that, as we call them coordinators. So they just make sure that the events happen, they happen on time, take care of the logistics, etc., etc. And participation is just open to all. So like there is no title as such a part of the music club, because like we remember, I mean, you guys don't have the music club t-shirts, I think, but in
No.
our time, in our time when we were distributed the t-shirts, there was I mean, anyone who had performed even in any one event was given the t-shirt or was asked to buy the t-shirt if they wished to. So there was no, I mean, there was no restriction on the fact that only
And
a
the t-shirt
person
looks
who's
cool.
yeah, so the
And I
I should have
logo, I
worn
mean,
it today.
we should give the credits. Logo designed by Akshat.
Akshat, yeah.
So the logo, I mean,
like
I really love the logo.
like how ESL
Yes,
wore ESL
Raghav, let's
t-shirts.
talk about your attempt at a new
Hey,
logo.
we
we'll
put it in use. We put it
we
in
will have to
use.
reveal this. Raghav is not. He does like the logo, but he is not very happy with its non-square.
Yeah, I mean the only thing that I don't
circle.
like about the music club logo is it's way too long, so it doesn't fit in a lot of stuff. Right. So
It was
like
always meant to be vertical. I mean, when the logo was designed, it was designed for the t-shirt specifically, and then we just extended it. So I mean, earlier there was no logo of the music club, and then there were no t-shirts also. It all started the first time we got
What a
t-shirts.
weird
We just
world.
decided, we just decided let's make t-shirt, and then Akshat designed the logo and like vertically fit it on the t-shirt, and lol looked very nice. So then we were like, okay, this is going to be the music club logo, and just continued.
Pretend
so I
that I
guess
didn't
it's
make that joke. Never mind.
You made a joke. You're capable of making jokes.
I try. I said something along the lines of there were no t-shirts ever, but never mind. Continue, Akash.
We would probably give
Next
you guys
question.
t-shirts when we are back on.
Hey, Akash.
I have
Yeah,
done
we will
several
try.
interviews.
Next
I need
Felicity.
questions.
Hey, I didn't get
Also,
Felicity t-shirts.
No, Raghav, we didn't get Felicity Monster, man. Come on. No,
Oh, yeah,
sorry.
Monster
I
from
got-
a year
no,
ago,
No,
I
I
didn't get.
remember. No, I remember. I got Monster on the second day towards the end, but I realized that I puked my guts out like 1 hour ago. So I had to give
Still
it to
you didn't
someone
give me the
else,
Monster,
and that
huh?
was really sad.
Oh, when Aakash is sick, is the best time to approach him. You can completely exploit the guy.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. What happened?
This guy is not okay.
Basically,
Wait,
Akash,
seriously, what happened?
So okay, I just said it in short. While I was down with the flu, it's unrelated to this. While I was down with the flu or something, Akash talked me into giving him like
Hey,
this entire
that's not
packet
fair.
of biscuits that I got from Qatar that I really like,
Know
and it's
what I
not
did,
available in
Aakash?
India. Yes,
Akash, you're
Akash,
changing the story. Come on. I came to check on you, and I was like, "Can I have one cookie?" Because it was an open packet. You're like, "No, take the whole packet." I'm like, "Okay."
Akash, you extorted it from me.
I didn't do anything. I asked you multiple times, "Are you sure?" And you're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of pretty much it.
Extorted it.
Remember the cakes in
Yeah.
Felicity? there was this company
Oh,
that
that
bought
was that
cakes.
smuggle, right?
Oh God, are you
Yeah,
sure
I
you
remember
should
that.
talk about this smuggling?
Probably not. But yeah,
What
we
do you
smuggled a
mean?
couple of boxes around.
I don't think they're gonna watch
They were
this.
so bad, but it was
Oh
just,
yeah, they were bad, but we got
Okay,
them.
Raghav,
So
I think at least me or the viewers of summer will need more context about this. What cakes are you talking about?
Okay, so they had these little cakes that they kept in Srijana for some reason, and music club was like,
it
Srijana's
wasn't. It
our
wasn't a
Oh,
proxy
triplet
right,
or whatever.
right.
thing.
I was
It wasn't
there.
a
I
trip. Wait,
remember. Yes.
hold up. Basically, Felicity got a sponsor. That was a cake company, and they were sponsoring Felicity, and they wanted to give out their cakes, and these cakes were
For
stored in
free.
Srijana for free. They were giving it
For
out for free.
free.
So technically, it's not smuggling because you just like took it.
No, we transferred it from Srijana to Bakul and then had one full ring
And
road.
might I add, I do remember the cakes were not very good.
They were
Yeah,
so
but we
bad, but
still
Are
like,
you allowed to
had.
say that?
See, even if
I
it's
don't
not good,
know.
it doesn't matter because it was free. Like if it's free, we'll just
exactly.
take it.
We're not mentioning the cake brand or anything, right? So
Yeah,
it's
true.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
everyone knows
no
last year
definition.
Felicity, which was the cake brand.
I don't remember also.
Yeah, neither do I.
Like I tell you, last year Felicity, I was in the design team, right? I was making all of the posters that said the sponsor is sponsoring what, and then there's this company and it says cake sponsor. I'm like,
Felicity cake sponsor.
and then they give cakes, and I'm like, oh, that's a cake sponsor. Okay.
Oh,
And the
now
best
I
part
remember
is,
the cakes.
yes, exactly. And the best part is, I don't think anyone got cakes Christmas.
Yeah, we just took everything.
But to be
And
fair, they
honestly,
waited for
we
like the
spared those
last year
cakes for a lot
Felicity.
of pain.
Yeah. Like,
Last year
Yeah, we
Felicity
spared
was
them a
big.
lot. Like,
Oh wait, sorry, Aanegola, you can continue.
there was also water bottles in Srijana for some reason. So like the music club is like, this is our property now. And yeah.
yes.
Ah yes, that is how laws work.
Yep.
Last year Felicity was big, right? I mean, it was more of a success than the year before
So,
that because of
are you
something.
implying that this year's Felicity isn't big, Raghav? What is it?
Let's be realistic. Wait, what happened in Felicity 2 years ago with you guys?
Aakash Felicity.
Yeah,
It was
Oh.
good only. Like, why are you saying it like something absolutely
I
terrible?
don't know. I don't know. All the seniors told me that for
Yeah,
you
so
guys
the
the
thing was
Felicity
the
wasn't
face
big.
was got
coordinators.
dark. He like went all, like, I have
Yeah.
a long story to tell.
Actually, I mean, the coordinators changed last minute, and
Oh.
everything was kind of not organized properly. Like the events were much on a smaller scale as compared to what were in the year after that. So all of that, but it wasn't bad. I mean, we had a nice time. We enjoyed it. It was nice.
So
Very diplomatic answer.
so how does one become a coordinator of a music club?
I think we already
Right.
answered that.
Yeah, the first step is to
I
perform.
still don't.
Like,
Okay.
th-
Not to
okay, so the
participate in
very
any
first,
way, Just be involved
like,
with us
yeah.
and if
I mean,
you
of course,
notice.
you need to like possess the skills. I mean, had the knowledge,
Yeah.
of course, because we need a lot of technical skills required during the events.
Yeah.
So that is one main thing. And other than that, I mean, when we have multiple people with skills, so we would, I mean, shortlist on based on participation and based on what we think who would contribute how much to the club. So that's how we selected coordinators, and we'll select coordinators further also.
So we need to know that like everyone has assignments, right? But you have to take time out of your assignments to make sure that these events happen, right? That's like a requirement for the coordinators. And also you need to be able to handle like last minute crisis situations because they always turn up like in live
Yeah.
performances, right? So those are things that we're looking.
Oh,
And it's
God,
almost
this
like a
happened.
1 year thing because we always
Uh-huh.
have like the coordinators work in their second years, and then we select new coordinators, and then the people who were coordinators become advisors for
Yeah.
that. Like they have to do lesser work now and just help around.
Yeah,
Also,
help around us.
speaking of last minute
Crisis.
crises, I do want
2
to
days
point
ago?
out. I remember this. No, not 2 days ago.
Oh,
That will come
okay.
later. But in Unplugged, the Unplugged that we had in 2019, I do
Oh.
remember, and I do think Akash did as well. That was a crisis situation because, as you know, Unplugged happens outside in Vindhya. And
we were
I
so
remember,
my
damaged.
God.
Yes, it was at 2. The event was scheduled at 5 or so, and at 2 p.m. it started raining. And you can see how distressed Abhinav was because we couldn't exactly
Dude.
put it off since the exams and all were starting later. And we were so tense because the production, the van and everything were waiting outside with the lights. We couldn't set up anything because it was raining. And
Yeah.
then it stopped raining for just like a little while at around, I think, like 3:30 or so. and we just speed ran everything to set it up. And I also remember that it started raining some 5 minutes after the event ended. Like just as we
Yeah.
finished the
Yeah,
last
yeah, yeah.
It was
performance,
literally a
this
stroke of
yes,
luck.
I mean, it
We
was a
it was
call.
like,
Like
like
at that
also
point,
like
yeah,
we
it
were
was
we
a
took
big
the we
gamble.
took the gamble, remember? So like I
yeah,
remember we
yeah.
walked all over like
properly.
looking for like alternative places where we could
Oh,
hold it, right? I think we thought
I thought you were gonna say we walked all over looking for clouds that could rain.
yeah, that's we also
That
did
also
that, by
really.
the way. No,
Oh,
so
No, so like one more thing is that Abhinav was really panicking. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
let's have
yeah,
yeah. And I
yeah,
was
yeah.
taking
Abhinav
pictures of
panicked
the sky
so
where there
much.
was no clouds, and I
And then
just
I don't
took
remember
a
who
picture.
said it, but like we were like, you know what, just screw it. We're going to
Yeah.
just
So we
go
had to
for
take, I
it.
mean, Manu, Prakriti, they were all there, and we
Yeah.
finally had to take a call. So Abhinav was I mean, till the last minute, he was kind of against doing the event because if it rains, then, I mean, it's all
Yeah,
gone.
budget gone, yeah.
But then
Yeah,
we
because
took
you
the
got to
call.
pay them, and then like
Yeah.
you can request money again. So like
So it was nice. I mean, it was a good thing that we took the call, and the event was successful, of
We
course.
got lucky, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, if it had rained an hour earlier, we would have to close down
Yeah,
earlier.
and the best thing
There's
was
no way
that
around it.
event, everything started on time. It was supposed to start at
Yeah.
7:30, and dot 7:30 it started, and like ended on time, and it started raining right after the event.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, Akash, remember the distorted violin? That mic wasn't working properly, so it was like
Oh,
Right.
distorted.
Oh,
oh
yeah.
God, Aakash, Aanegola, you've had such bad luck with violin mics.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's
For
It happened.
Euphonic, for Unplugged, your violin mic didn't work. It worked legit properly for.
Unplugged for specifically bought those violin mics so that we can do something, but
Yeah, but I don't
yes.
know. It didn't.
it didn't.
Yeah, I
Something went
remember.
wrong.
I remember that they gotten like brand new violin mics. When that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
now when I went to campus, no, and like I went back to my room, so it was there on my table, a violin mic. I'm like, oh shit.
It worked properly, like proper for inaugurals. Yeah.
That's
Hmm.
because I made sure we
Yeah.
tested it because like a lot of other violinists also performed for inaugural. So we were
Yeah.
like, okay, we
Yeah,
gotta do
yeah.
this
Yeah,
right
exactly.
this
All
time.
the third years at the
Yeah.
time.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Thing is,
so
like
we made
inaugurals,
sure.
Fourth years.
we had the time, we
Yeah,
had the budget, there were the people, so like it just went perfectly right.
yeah, and we took time out and made sure that it was audible. So
We'll go one by one. Everyone tell your favorite event to organize and participate in because we always do this when we're at the end.
there's gonna be one answer.
Yeah, I think everybody's
Yeah.
gonna have
Okay,
to say inaugurates. So
everyone.
yeah,
Okay,
inaugurates
yeah,
is
that
a
makes
vibe.
to organize.
There is. Oh, to organize. I mean, to organize also because
Inaugural. We don't have to do
yeah,
much.
That's
inaugurals.
true.
I mean, just
Hey,
having that
including the
stage
financials.
The
and
whole
Okay,
campus is kind of preparing along with you, right?
Okay,
yeah.
For their
So
own
fair
thing.
enough.
I mean, during inaugurals, it's like Tanvi and I would relate. We would want to go in the dances also. So we
Yeah.
would be performing in Sujana, and then we would get called that please come here, and we would be so reluctant because we want this to be perfect, and like we know we need to be there also, but like we would always want this to be perfect. So we would like spend maximum time here in Sujana, then run, go like quickly learn the dances and whatnot. So that whole week, I mean, before
Oh,
1 week
I
before
just
inaugurals was just
realized
a pain.
Abhinav did a dance in inaugurals.
I
That
think we should spare him
dance.
that
No,
Yeah.
that
The
moment.
one where
was
he splits and then it moves.
Yeah,
What do you mean it
yikes.
moves?
we see dances.
Oh, you know what moves?
I can't, but okay.
Okay, anyway,
Hey,
so
you
I mean,
saw
I
it.
think it's going to be inaugurals for all of us.
yeah, we know how the campus gets right during like Felicity time. Everybody's hyped for 3 days off,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
everybody's just doing
Yeah.
as much as they can.
I mean,
And
inaugurals, you
yeah,
get that
yeah.
feel even while doing sound check, like
Exactly.
actually you're going to perform on a like big
Yeah.
stage. And it's just
And on the
feels,
mic you're telling bhaiya iska
yeah, bhaiya,
volume
iska change
badhao.
karo, ek
Yeah.
kam karo.
Okay, monitor pe
He's very
badhao.
professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like say me and Akash, we haven't experienced like on campus meltdown, right? So we can't even vouch for that.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about the events basically is that each has a different audience it targets, each has a different way it participates, and each has a different feel. Like inaugurals is basically there for the very few select bands, and that's why I guess we can enjoy it because since we performed before, we have the experience, we have the stage with the largest audience, the best setup to do. Unplugged is basically just a relaxing acoustic nights. Like if you talk just about like a chill atmosphere, the Vindhya lights, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Nothing I compare to that. And Meltdown,
Yeah,
I guess we can't compare, but we've seen the photos, we've seen the videos, and like it's like you can perform songs there that you can't anywhere else. That's another
Yeah.
thing. Because for inaugurals, we have like a restriction. I think we were fortunate because I think
Oh
Tanvi,
yeah,
Manas,
the
you guys, and
restriction
Abhinav,
thing.
yes, thing is, you guys gave us extra time. I remember that because I
Yeah.
don't think any other batch gave the
We got
juniors this
9
much
minutes
time.
or something.
It was
right?
so
We-
worth it. You guys were so good.
The entire
Exactly,
thing was
I
that
mean,
these are the juniors. They're gonna get like the first performance gets over, and that was the
That's
trend going on till
That's
now.
traditionally.
really the trend.
Yeah.
And
You
then I
guys
mean,
gave
once
us
we
the
saw the performance, we're like, it's worth giving
The
extra
end,
time.
yeah,
We
it
did
was
it again,
totally
right?
worth
I mean,
you
it.
guys
we
gave
just
us the
moved it to
best
the end.
slot and the best time. So honestly,
Yeah.
like big.
Also,
Same with us.
another thing, like Manas and I never organized like properly organized meltdown, right? Because you guys
Yeah.
didn't have meltdown.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so
That's also there. Also, like, shameless plug, but yeah, professors reached out to us for our performance. So,
Oh, I
yep.
heard Vineet Gandhi sir was there and he enjoyed inaugurals a lot. So
After you
Yes.
guys know, right? After
Yes,
Emailed
sir,
us.
yes.
like
After
he like
sir,
emailed
yeah.
for you guys, like he wanted the recording of
Yes.
Zinda.
yeah.
Yes. And Hotel California, he wanted to give
Yes,
it
he
to us.
wanted it, but
bro,
He
even we
specifically
want the
remembers
recording.
Zinda. Yeah.
also I
And
will
Felicity
point out.
coordinators, please get us a recording.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I think
From
one
last
important thing
year.
to mention is that inaugurals, like, it was like very performer oriented. I mean, I feel it's really bad for this, but like, it was more of an event for us, than just everybody in general. And that's
Even
why I
though it's
guess we
supposed
just
to
all,
be
Because
the
we get a
exact
smaller
opposite.
slot. We get
Yes.
a
Yeah, yeah.
smaller slot than the
Like-
other acts in
Yeah.
inaugurals,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Exactly.
So we
Like,
have to, yeah.
Yeah, it's completely understandable because every batch has to get a chance. I remember,
Hmm.
there were like dual degree seniors, UG4, RMP, and all also performed their band. You guys did, Abhinav did. So it's like each, okay, I guess, band from the more, the active performers basically get a chance. And sometimes it's not even possible to give them all a slot because I think in total we had some 20 or 25 minutes at max. Or how long was it?
45.
45, yeah, 45.
Sorry, sorry.
also
No, but
ego, right?
I mean, on a general term, if you see, I think probably Unplugged is the most liked event by like the
Yes.
students and like most awaited event probably because everyone Unplugged is like
It's
just
great.
packed.
That's true.
The venue
Yeah.
is just packed. Like there is no space for more people to come in, and
Yeah, even
and
I was
everyone.
wondering. Even I was wondering before Unplugged, how are you gonna fit like 1,000 people over here? It's like place for 20
Yeah.
people.
See, no, it's like
They
it's
just
such a
do.
long
They
event,
cram
right?
in.
So people keep like
Yeah.
coming
People
and
keep
going and
coming
just
and
watch their
going
friends'
and
performances.
yeah.
It's like consistently like 250 to 300 people, I'd say. So like that's manageable, right? It's cramped, and that just adds to it, right? Because there's so many people,
Exactly.
you're just
Yeah.
like,
Like
right.
now, if you
Under
talk
the
about crammed,
lights.
Yeah.
Like now, if you talk about crammed, that's like out of the question. Like, in that
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no one in a 5
Socially
kilometer
distance
radius.
unplugged will be so
Yes.
sad.
Oh, bro, there'll be
I
like
don't want to do it.
10 people as audience.
Okay, to be honest, we could like move it to the football ground. Have them
Would you
stand
get
at
the
Dress
attention.
lighting
circle.
opportunity in the football ground?
We can figure something out. We'll see.
We'll put
See, like,
lights on the
because-
stage, yeah, for us.
See,
Like,
this is a conversation that we'll have to do when we get to it. And
Yeah.
I guess like one advantage of performing online that at least I guess a few of us can say is that uh, performing on campus was performing live, which is something that I do. I basically even work for that, got a degree in that and everything, and that's really fun.
What a flex.
But
Akash,
Okay,
the one with the
Raghav,
guitar diploma
yes.
after 8
Yes,
years.
Raghav. Just saying, Raghav. Chill. Also, second off, like it's like when you record online, it's going to be there for it's going to be there. So basically, you're not performing, you're recording, and while that does take away a bit of it, it's like you can experiment with music in a way you couldn't before. Like you
That's
can work
also
with
true.
layers because like if you guys hear so many of the songs that we did in Meltdown, and I guess obviously I have to mention the last song where we use the most layers. We can have one guitar playing multiple things. We can have counterparts. We can have so many things that are happening, and that is something that you can't do live because you're restricted by the number of people or the limits of the basically of the stage. You can't have more than 3 guitars realistically because there isn't enough setup. Keyboard can't play more than one part at the same time, but online you can circumvent it. So I guess like if anyone wants to
Only
try
we can
this,
have 5 Raghavs, but we cannot have that in that.
I just
you're gonna
realized
be fans
something.
if they can't do something,
I just realized something. The euphonic performance of me, Aakash Jain, and Aakash Aanegola. The reason Aanegola's violin didn't work was because there weren't enough ports for it. I think there weren't enough audio channels for it to like. go
He was
through.
using a normal mic, if I remember
Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that was
exactly.
never going to work.
See, yeah. So
Yeah.
this is always an issue,
Even I could
and I
hear
guess
it, right?
yeah. So that's the one advantage of doing it online because you can record and mix on your own terms. The issue then becomes time
Yeah.
because as I guess you all know, we like scrambled to get a performance done. Even for Meltdown this time, it was a complete
Bro,
race against time.
meltdown 1 hour before meltdown's beginning. Akash, Ritvik, and me were sitting with Ritvik editing the video for Fix You.
See, yeah, I didn't remember. I remember we started. I think around 3 hours before the original scheduled event. And Ritik has no idea how to use Premiere Pro. He had to learn
Yeah,
it
I
for the
was the
first
first
time.
for.
Yes, and it's like we just learned on the fly, and his computer kept crashing because for some reason Premiere Pro
Premiere
doesn't
Pro.
use a GPU. It's just some reason, so it kept crashing, and we had to get it done. Sometimes it didn't save, and this was all an issue. And I guess this is the biggest issue when you want to record online because you don't always have the audio producer to mix it. Like we did for Arihant, you don't have a video producer that can get a quality video that will do justice to your performance. And all of course time. The juniors had their SEMs going on. The seniors, you guys have your internships, your research, and I guess UG2 is the only batch that was free per se because even people in UG2 were probably doing
Some
something.
of us.
I mean, if you are starting out your research, in a way you are, but the point is that there are different challenges, but it has its own charms.
Yeah, totally.
I could totally see the smug look on an Aakash Jain's face when he finished that. He's like, I
Oh
am
yeah,
the
when I
plant. Okay, so what about favorite event to organize and perform in online, Sam? Like after COVID, because
Unplugged.
Yeah,
Unplugged by
Unplugged was
far,
good.
Yeah. Thing is, just
because
the amount of response that we got after lockdown, we were honestly kind of unsure of everything, and we knew we had to make a comeback. And just the response that we got, we got professor submissions, we got a lot of people in, and that was something that I really liked. And yeah, I'm sorry,
yeah,
I'm
it's,
speaking too
it
much. You
works
guys
both
go
ways.
ahead.
We'll be excited if you guys are excited. So like if you want to submit stuff, then we're always on top of things. We're like, okay,
I'm
we
excited.
have stuff to work for now. Like, but if it's not there, because people submit really late. Okay, I don't know, it's just culture or whatever. It's pretty difficult to see because it's like, okay, it'll come, and then it just everything was flooded on the last day. So until then, we're also like, okay, we're just gonna wait. So that's why it happens in the last minute. But yeah, Unplugged was a lot of fun because I mean, daily we'd get together and like figure out which songs to put in for that day, and like just plan it out. Be like, okay, we want to save this for that day. Like it was just fun. We like in the middle we just came up with this coordinated day idea. It was fun to
That was
experiment
nice.
with and like yeah.
So y'all want to talk about anything now? Because I am almost done.
Yes, I do
I
believe
think
we are.
we're done too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us, Raghav.
Yes, thank you, Raghav.
Thank you for coming. It's just 5 people talking on a Google Meet.
Yes. I
Google
don't know why you put it like that, but okay.
He's like discounting his own effort, dude. He's like,
He's
no,
like, thank you for coming. But yeah, this is quite nice, and we're really happy to be here. And
Yes.
Yeah, I guess
Even I'm
what
happy
we
to
can
be
tell
here.
everyone is
So
like,
nice.
look forward to the next Unplugged. Audio
Exactly.
So
file.
yeah, Raghav,
We'll
for
get back
you gotta go red pepper voice next time, but you gotta go like, thank you all for coming.
Thank
Gotta do
you.
it.
Oh God. Thank you for. I can't do that. I don't. I have a
Yeah, you
not
have
so
a
big
high range.
lower
Not,
range.
yep.
Yes,
We all know from experience, Akash.
yes, yes. Raghav, if you want to conclude, you can just sing the chorus of "Shallow" right now.
No, no. I have
Chandler, go
people
for it.
living in the house with me. What?
Yes.
It's okay. It's a 2-minute burst. They can deal with it.
I'm not doing this.
No, Akash, it's fine. It's fine.
Like I
Okay,
tried
Raghav,
recording
so
loud songs at home, but the mic then stopped picking up the karaoke, so it's just a mess. Right. Okay, so
okay, yeah, I think
Yeah.
this was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tanvi's like, yeah.
Enough. Too much is dragging it out.
I know, Raghav, bro. Just like end the damn call.
Hey, I don't see the thing is I don't know how to end this. Okay, the recording goes for a long time, then I cut whenever I want to and upload it. So
Okay, so can we be informal right now?
I don't know.
Okay, wait,
You
I
decide.
mean, we were informal
Okay,
the whole
I'll
time,
say.
but yeah.
To anybody who's watching this video, I don't know when you'll be watching this, but we might
I
have
don't
passed out
think
of
I
college
doubt
also.
that people will reach to this point of the video because
That's true. So much time passed you did. Nobody will watch this video
Yeah,
now.
no, Tanvi, it's okay,
It'll be
continue.
so
I'm
long.
interested.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
interested
1 hour, 30
actually.
minutes
Keep
light.
going.
I'm not watching.
That's what मैंने देखी
Hey,
है.
bro, I don't care at this point.
Raghav, split
You
it
have to
into
cut
15.
all those
Yes,
kachra
Raghav,
parts.
no.
I can't.
Split it into 15. Raghav, split it into 15-minute session and post every day. It'll
Yeah.
work.
Premiere it.
I'm not putting an
Yeah.
unplugged.
He's a
Honestly,
massive. Tanvi,
there should be
finish your
something like
statement,
that.
bro. It was very
Yeah.
deep and like too
I didn't know.
sentient.
I didn't know.
who's
You
here,
know that Michael Scott thing. Sometimes I start a statement and I don't know where it's
Oh
going.
yeah. That.
That's what was happening to me.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're always looking forward to new talent. So hope you guys are a little bit more excited about our club now. I know that everything is online and stuff, right? But looking forward to meeting all of you online and performing with you.
Same.
Okay.
So sentient. I thought you were a chill person.